There's nothing I like more than doing business.
What's your favorite kind of business to take care of? Oh, well, you got a lot of inspo from Grant Cardone,
Usually,
so
yeah, Grant Cardone, he is my
I think it was number
inspiration.
627. The suggestion was to use the money that you have towards the business that you want to invest in.
Exactly. I mean, that's the first step of business running
Yeah.
and owning. The second is you have to get a like $4,000 multifunction printer.
What is the printer that I always send you? The bit
It's a four
the,
thousand
the
dollar
Biz Hub,
multifunction.
the Biz Hub C750.
Oh, the Biz Hub. Yeah, the Biz Hub C750. You need to get a printer like the Biz Hub
That's my
C750.
favorite printer.
Yeah, everybody has a favorite
And
printer.
what you do
Top 5 favorite printers.
what you do is you constantly stand around it and you print
Well,
things
that's how you
off.
get business done.
You just stand around this thing right here. You get one of these exactly.
Dude, ours are all gray though.
And
They're
you
not even black
stand-
like that.
You stand around it and constantly print things off all day. Documents, plans, your
Yeah, the
rule book,
employee handbook.
the employee handbook, print your schedule off and then throw it away and print it off again. Print your schedule off and then scan it and email
So that you
it
can
back
print it
to
later if you
yourself
need
and then
to.
print that back
And
off.
this is all
Yeah,
laid out.
exactly.
In this book.
No,
In
this is
Grant
just all
Cardone's
stuff
book.
that you
Yeah,
have to do.
It's all laid out in this. No, yeah, this is how you run a business. This is business. This is getting.
Yeah, actually,
business
Chris, you're right
here.
though, and I think it was the 630th way to build a business was to do all the Biz Hub C750
Those
stuff.
are the steps. Those are the steps.
Yeah, pretty much
By
exactly
Grant
as we
Cardone
explained it.
himself.
Yeah. Yep. CJ, is that a real book? 1,000 Ways to Build a Business or whatever thing?
No, I mean, maybe that would be funny.
It surely is.
I feel like it's something that I made.
Grant Cardone. I don't even
feel
want
like
to
I just
Google
made
this
that
because
up.
I don't want my Google News to think that I'm a Grant Cardone stan.
I spelled Grant wrong.
All right, incognito
Cardone.
tab.
Just do anything.
10 times your business. 10 times your. What is this? Why does he look like that?
It's
10x events, 10x podcast, 10x training, 10x studios.
Did you say why does he look like this?
Yeah, he has a plane, and on the side of his plane, he has a quote, and the quote says, "I ain't self-made, I'm
Oh my
hater-made."
That makes me
And
want
then it
to
says
crawl
Grant
into my
Cardone
own
underneath
skin.
it, and
Oh, boy, that's one of the worst things I've heard.
his website is, oh, this is a GQ TV. Oh, it's Undercover Billionaire. That makes sense.
Is he actually a billionaire?
So shot, right?
Yeah,
maybe
dude.
Real estate. I don't know.
But listen. He has to be. He's the CEO of Cardone Enterprises. He's the CEO of Cardone Capital. He's an international speaker, an entrepreneur, a New York Times bestselling author, and a creator of 21 best-selling business programs. So that is billionaire material.
What? He's the CEO of 2 companies that are
5
named
o'clock
after
shadow.
him. So, like,
Yes.
that's your first step to being a billionaire.
Have 2 companies
That
named after.
borderline sound like they do exactly the same thing.
Yeah, Enterprises and Capital. I mean, both of them make money.
Couldn't Capital just
Both
be
of
an
them are for making
enterprise?
money.
Why does it have to be both?
Well, it has to be separated. Capital is the money, and enterprises are like the things that create the money.
But you can't create nice. Why did my voice crack?
Grant Cardone.
I just looked it up. He's
worth.
600 million.
What are we thinking?
That's way too much.
Dude, let's see what
Oh,
Diddy's net worth
rest in
is.
peace,
Also
dude.
600 million. Yeah, R.I.P.
It was also 600 million.
Yeah,
Are they the same guy somehow?
yeah, they're the same guy.
funny to watch Chris's
Why does he have
camera
an article
as he's
about
waiting
private
for you to
jets?
pull something up.
He's
Yeah, so
waiting
I'm
for
just
me
like
to pull
watching
something
him
up?
wait for you.
I'm waiting patiently, brother.
Here's him picking up his golf
For
stream.
the first time.
Yeah.
He's wearing his own merch.
Yes. Yes, he is. Screaming like they can hear her.
Yeah. This is probably...
This one doesn't have the quote on it,
I think
which
this
sucks,
is the
but...
least relatable video I've ever seen.
Oh, 100%. I don't think I've ever seen a video of someone like receiving delivery of a jet airplane. You can't fake a Lambo. You can fake a Lambo. You
Dude,
can't
that is
fake
disgusting.
a jet. He's wearing a shirt.
Also, you can. Just... You can. What's the difference? Like, you could just as easily, like, pay to get pictures on a private plane as you could to pay to rent a Lambo.
You can literally
Dude, there's
rent.
literally
You
photo
can rent
studios
them.
with green screens where you sit in front of a private jet window at a green screen. It's so funny.
Besides being terrible, it's also just not true.
I can't wait.
Wait, was he just talking about?
He could do workouts up there, man.
He could do workouts up on the place that he can't walk on. Like, he can't work out on the wing of the plane. He will break it.
I'm sure that this turns into a motivational speech at the end of this too. About, look, I got this jet. You can get this jet.
Just buy all of my books. What does her shirt say?
I can't tell, but it looks like it says something about haters.
Whatever.
Whatever it takes.
Okay.
Who's this guy?
He looks like a wax figure. He
No,
said
there's not.
it's probably only 1,000 guys that can fly jets. It's maybe 2,000, right?
There's only 2,000 jets in the world.
No, but it's
right.
1,000 and then it's also 2,000.
It's a plane.
Success is my duty.
Dude, I love putting his signature under his quotes on his plane.
Then you hop into the fucking Dawn with the star ceiling.
The Rolls Royce. Yeah.
You're underestimating what you can do. Here we go. Chris called. Wow, we nailed it.
How long is it, dude? We got a whole minute of this.
Man. He's turning himself and getting a jet into work at your dreams and you can get a jet for sure.
He's not like, this is the most word salad saying of nothing.
They serve peanuts on the plane, but you don't have to put a seatbelt on.
God, that's so funny and relatable.
Oh,
It's crazy how funny.
CJ, your YouTube
recs
recs are gonna go to shit.
Yeah, well, that's all part of the game, you know what
Well,
I'm
when you're
saying?
building a business as big as you're building yours.
Well, this is the only way that I can build a business is by watching Grant Cardone pick up his private jet
Okay.
and listening to the 1 minute motivational speech at the end. And I'm so motivated right now. Get that TikTok ad running, Jonathan. Success is my duty.
No, your duty is to.
I
run it.
ain't self-made. I'm
Your
hater
duty is to
made.
spend $30 on an ad that's gonna get like 6,000 views.
Dude, success is my duty. I'll get on TikTok.
Yeah, you
right
even
now
have
and
the
do
app downloaded for sure.
We're a little too much beards.
What?
A little too much beards.
Beards.
Bird
Birds,
beards.
beers. Boy.
Yeah,
Welcome
Chris's
to the-
reaction really got me.
On that,
Um,
welcome to episode 4 of the Brothers Prampcast Brothers.
like,
Are you welcoming us, or is everyone else also a brothers?
Everyone else is the brothers.
the name of
The
our fan
brothers.
base, the brothers.
Dude, that's hilarious.
That is really good.
We're
That's
back at
very
it
funny.
again. Episode 4, baby. We're here to talk about it, and we're 3 guys.
Wow, switching the order.
Yeah. Don't
Well,
forget-
as of course, what are we talking about this time? Who knows? All I know is I'm about to house 1 million of them. Parentheses, beers I'm talking about, of course.
Close friends.
Those parentheses, thank you.
Dude, I can't wait to see you house them. 1 million of them to be exact.
There's your sip of 498,300
Just now, yeah.
beer. Yeah, that's how long have you been going on?
How long have I been drinking the
For-
beers for? I mean, you can only really
Yeah.
drink 1 million a day if you get started right at midnight. So I've kind of been going since.
Do you just go midnight to midnight 1 million every day? So you never sleep. It's just
No sleep, just beers.
Constant drinking
constant
beers.
beer consumption.
You have like a twice a day, like 50-foot semi-truck trailer delivery of pallets of beer. Cold.
Yeah,
Just
you could say I deliver packages of beer into my stomach.
Brother.
yeah, I deliver that sweet, sweet tan liquid into my stomach.
Fuck.
You know what they say, man? Life's just one big delivery.
Yeah. That's your favorite thing to say, right?
Yeah, it makes me so happy.
Yeah, you get so overjoyed when CJ says that.
Well, of course. He's talking about delivering beers to our gullets, and that's it, nothing else.
No, that's the only thing you deliver in life. But when you're doing it midnight to midnight, it's pretty much your whole life. So
Some people might say that their shoulders and arms do multiple things like drive cars and do work. Well, I got 2 hands right here, and their only job is to deliver beers into my mouth.
It was almost so smooth. You just lost it for a second.
I right at the end, dude.
Oh my god, dude.
you drink so much. Your arm is lifting beers all day, so you're just like shredded, but only
Dude,
right
it's
here.
just-
Jesus Christ, man.
Oh, man.
I love how we're 15 minutes in and we've
Only been talking about Grant Cardone and beer.
what a great episode that you guys have signed up for today.
Oh.
Dude, I'm losing it right now.
Oh god.
The title of this one is Worst Episode Ever.
Bro.
First 15 minutes of the video is us.
He can't even
Just
get
laughing.
out of the sentence. I'm fucking crying, bro.
I'm done, man. Shit.
We can't stop talking about video games and only games. Well, not anymore. It's more like Grant Cardone beers and games,
Yeah,
I'd say.
Cardone's beers and games. This
Yeah,
is the podcast
well.
for it. If you ever want a
big
podcast
3.
about the 3 big things, the big 3, you got beers, Grant Cardone, and games. The perfect one. You found it.
Honestly, 2 of those are pretty solid for a big 3.
Yeah, Grant Cardone and beers.
Fuck video games.
Nah, dude, but lots to talk about today, though. Honestly,
Yeah. It's been a busy few weeks for games.
It just keeps going on, dude.
Yeah, it seems like it's gonna be that way for the rest of the year because the Switch is probably gonna get announced pretty soon.
What games do we think are going to go alongside
Like launch games,
For the Nintendo Switch
Yeah.
2.
probably. Well, I think Metroid Prime 4 is supposed to come out before the
Yeah.
Switch 2.
Oh, really? That's surprising. I feel like that would be a good one to launch that with.
Well, they got it running on the Switch. I think it was like 900p 60 FPS, which isn't even that bad for a Switch game. So, I don't know, maybe it doesn't even need to be
That's
a
pretty
Switch 2.
wild. I don't know, because the last one, the Switch launched with Breath of the Wild, didn't it?
Yeah, that was the launch game.
What were you just trashing? What game were you just trashing that you ran like 862, like 30 FPS? What game
Alan
was
Wake
that?
2 was demoed out on the PS5 Pro at 864p 60 FPS.
And then you just straight up told me that they got Metroid Prime 4 to run at 900p 60
On the
FPS on the
regular
Switch, and that's
Switch.
pretty good.
It's pretty
On
good
this
for the
regular
regular
Switch.
Switch. I don't think it's pretty good in
That's the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life. We're like, PS5 Pro bleeding edge technology comes
$700.
out. They show Alan Wake running like absolute
Well-
garbage. And then we got the Switch here, and we're just like, dude, it just got the 900.
I think Alan Wake 2 is like one of the most demanding games ever made. So like it's
So
it's a bad comparison, but it is funny that I said that right after we were talking about.
there,
No, but also like they tout the PS5 Pro as being
Yeah.
so strong, and it can't even run a game like at a normal resolution at 60
Yeah.
FPS. Like it makes sense that
so
we're
you're
excited
saying
about the
that they
Switch,
had
but
to push it all the way down to that for it to hit 60 FPS, right? Like
Yeah,
it
and then
wouldn't
they
hit
upscale
60
from
at
there.
any. Oh my god!
They're like recreating. You know how like the AI
Using that,
reconstruction.
like, AI, yeah.
But they're recreating an image that's already not even 1080p, so like they don't have a whole lot to work with. So I don't know.
That's so insane. What
I thi-
crazy.
Yeah, dude, Metroid Prime 4 is definitely going to be the most graphically demanding game of all time, so it's pretty
No,
cool.
did you watch the trailer for it? It looked ugly.
Hey,
Low-key, like
I believe.
I mean, every game, I don't know, not every. Most games on the Switch look ugly. Have you guys ever seen The Witcher running on Switch?
The Witcher is on the Switch,
like natively, and it looks
Witcher
and it looks
3.
hilarious. It
I'm
is like
sure it's awful.
the blurriest mess. I think it runs handheld at like under 480p.
That's insane.
And it doesn't even break like 30 FPS most of the time. It's like in the
Dude.
mid-20s. Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, dude. It's so crazy that like game companies will let their games be stripped down enough to play on the Switch.
I mean, got to get those extra sales.
Like again, I understand inclusivity, but like
Yeah.
there's no way that
No,
that's
it's gonna be a miserable experience.
But it's an excuse to sell a 6-year-old game for $60 again.
I mean, yeah, and people
They
will
will.
buy it.
Like, oh my god, it's so cool to play The Witcher 3 on a handheld. But was it worth it though?
When in reality, you should have
Yeah,
bought the
Yeah.
Steam
literally
Deck.
just use the Steam Deck, which would run it at 1080p probably.
Yeah,
At
it would
60
probably
FPS.
at least, yeah, I would bet it can do 1080 on like medium settings and it would look fine.
Yeah,
No, you got to get that 400p 30.
400p 30. I mean, how much better is the Switch 2 gonna be? Because they leaked some of that
Yeah,
stuff.
well, I guess we can start with that. I will look at the pictures in a second, but yeah, I mean, the specs are the biggest thing I think upgrade wise will be that it has 12 gigs of RAM, which is like way more overhead. Because I think even the Series S only has 10.
that's
That's
so
going to be
good.
great
And
for
that's surprisingly good.
It's
it's tripled
it's
from the
crazy
Switch
for
One.
them to pull that out. It's crazy for them to pull that out like that.
Yeah.
Like honestly, if that's the only thing that they upgrade, they might actually like be able to make
At least
normal
bigger
looking games on
games.
their console.
But
Yeah.
no, I think it's another like I think it's built by Nvidia again, the chipset, but it's another like thing that's made for the Switch. And I think the leaks are that it's going to be around the power of like the PS4 Pro.
Like the graphics card.
Yeah, which is not bad either, honestly, for a handheld.
No, but how'd they go from the Switch being like underpowered as like so underpowered to being
The
so
chipset
powerful?
in the Switch was 2 years old when it launched, so it was so bad already.
Perfect, guys. Good going.
So now that they're like building a new one to launch with this, because the Switch One CPU was a rebranded CPU from the Nvidia Shield, which I don't know if you guys know what that is, but it's like a set top box thing that you can play games on. You could play games on like back then. Um, so they basically took that CPU and reworked it a little and then shoved it in the Switch 2 years later. So
Dude, I mean, well, the Switch has been out for what,
7 and a
years?
half.
7.5 years.
Yeah.
That is insane that
Yeah.
they are still trying to build games on tech that old.
Yeah, so, well, that's why when I saw the Legends Z to A trailer, I was super hyped, and then it said it was coming out on Switch again, and I was like,
Oh, it's not on
please,
Switch too.
I hope they move it because please, dude, they can't make another game that looks like that.
That would be a good launch game if
That would
they
be huge, yeah.
like took the time to actually build that out and like make it a good game.
That's the
Yeah.
And not do what they did for Scarlet and Violet.
Because for all of Arceus's flaws, it was really good. Like I really, really like that game. It just looks a little.
they
meh.
definitely should have kept that open world
Yeah,
style
dude,
for
Scarlet
Scarlet and Violet. That would have been
It
way
looks
more
so
fun.
fucking bad, man. I've been playing it lately because I'm trying to like beat the DLC. And it's rough to look at. I mean, it's fine, but it's rough to look at.
And the OLED Switch, I like legitimately makes a difference. And
Yeah.
It's still bad to look at.
I can't imagine playing the game on a regular Switch, bro.
Well, you said it right earlier today. Like at least the Switch
Yeah.
Lite is comfortable to hold.
Yeah, I mean, we have a Switch Lite, and it's like it feels nice in the hand. It just like the screen is shitty.
Oh yeah, it's so bad.
It's like
really
it's smaller than a
really
phone screen
small.
now, which is not good for gaming.
I think my biggest problem with the Switch as a console is that my phone is more
Yes,
powerful.
significantly.
Like that frustrates me so much. I mean, like, yeah, my phone was $1,000, but like you could be making games like Nintendo could make phone games
Like
that could
Assassin's
run
Creed Mirage runs on
and look
phones, and
better.
that's like a new engine game, and it looks better than Switch games.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing? I don't know. So I'm really excited for the Switch 2 because it definitely like desperately needs an upgrade.
It does, man.
Whereas like
It's
the
been needing
PS5
it for years.
Yeah, like the PS5 Pro, we don't really need that right now, but we definitely need a Switch 2.
Dude, well,
Are they gonna? Oh, I forgot what I was
Huh?
gonna ask.
I feel like
Chris.
I mean, Nintendo doesn't really do like console refreshes, I feel like, that much. Like for them to
No,
do a Switch 2 is interesting. Like, do you think they're just gonna stick with that model going forward now? And that's like their thing? Or are they
probably,
gonna
and yeah,
I mean, they will for
I think like
6
until
years.
VR, AR becomes like usable by everybody, I think they'll stick with this model.
that's interesting. I mean, I
I
guess
don't
it
know.
works well for them and it's probably
Yeah,
very cheap for them to produce.
But another major rumor is that one of the leaked names is Switch Attach because of the ability to like connect with interface with another Switch.
Oh yeah.
So
So like
I
doing
think
like
that
a
name is
LAN,
terrible,
It would be
but
so cool.
I don't know.
doing like a LAN with two switches essentially.
I guess,
Do trade,
but you could kind of
trade
do that
with,
now.
Oh yeah, you could already do that
Yeah.
if they're on the same internet, right?
So I'm wondering it like if there's going to be a thing where you could connect two switches to make it almost like a giant DS or something,
I don't. That seems
like
like
dual screen games.
silly
But
though. That
it
seems like
does.
not worth it.
yeah, that
It
seems
seems
like
stupid.
too much.
So
It definitely seems just more like you being able to like hot connect two switches together to have 8 players play.
it's just weird that they would want you to attach them because you've been able to do that with the DS without internet since like 2004.
Yeah, I don't know.
So why would you now want to hardwire them together?
Unless there's like,
Well, I want to say because like data
Yeah.
transfers faster, but even then, like most people have crazy.
Well, even if
fast
they don't,
internet,
like if you don't have crazy fast internet, what do you like? What do you do? What data could possibly be so intense that you need to connect?
that Mario Party game, which is 8
That's
players,
the
Jamboree. Oh yeah, that new
you
game
can't
mode.
have you can't have any latency.
Yeah, dude, Mario Party is a
when you're-
huge no latency game for sure.
Yeah, you would have no latency.
Yeah, I
That
can only
can
play
do
Super
the
Mario
Switch.
Party with my 4 ping. Other than that, it's unplayable.
6
Get it out of
ping?
here.
Get me out of there.
Yeah, those are like the major things that leak. There's like a lot more in-depth stuff, like specific chipset names and stuff like that. But that
Have they rumored a price at all or leaked a price?
I saw one.
$45,000.
Yeah, it's about as much as like a Toyota Rav4 hybrid. I saw one leaked price, but I don't think it was like based on anything. 400 and 450 depending on the model.
I feel like it's gotta be more expensive than the base Switch was. I feel like if they're
Yeah.
upgrading it that much, there's no way they're gonna be able to keep the price tag.
I could see it launching at 350.
I mean, the thing is that everybody and their mother
Yeah.
will buy this console.
I'll buy
will
it
this
on release
console.
day.
Like I will yeah, like this is easily a console
Yeah.
that I will purchase. So it doesn't matter the price that they make. I bet you that they are forecasting to make over whatever their production.
That's why they've
Big
taken
time.
so long to release it,
Not production,
because they've been
manufacturing
manufacturing
cost
it for months already, because they want to make sure they have enough at launch, which is something Xbox and Sony did not do for the PS5 and Series X.
So this console's been
Yeah.
done and completed.
That's why all the shit is
Recently.
leaking, because it's been out, like it's been a thing for so long.
So they just have like hundreds of thousands of them sitting in a warehouse, and they haven't even
Yeah.
officially announced the console yet, which is
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah, that's they literally delayed it because they wanted to make sure they can meet demand, which is cool. Like,
That's smart.
yeah, it is. Make sure everybody can get one instead of people scalping them again, like what happened a couple years ago.
Do I trade in the OLED?
I think it's going to
Switch?
depend on backwards compatibility.
Surely,
Or,
surely,
yeah,
if it's the
100%.
Switch, it's going to be running on the same exact software, and everything's going to be compatible. I would think.
Yeah,
Yeah, but this is the same this worry I have with all consoles is when they eventually stop.
because
supporting
dude, the
the, like, last gen
PS4
console,
never
because they
supported the
have to,
PS3 ever.
Yeah, and if they're making the Switch 2 so much stronger, they can't have the Switch 2 games
No.
backwards compatible with the Switch 1 because they'll have a really low
Yeah, then it just-
ceiling. They won't ever
It's
make
just
That's
a
what I'm
waste
so
of
nervous
having the
about
Switch
with,
2 then, at that
Yeah,
point.
it is. That's what I'm nervous about with ZDA, is if they do like a dual release like developers do now, because even if they do that, it's still gonna look like trash on the Switch too.
I mean, if they do a dual release though, and they put the
It
time
might,
into
yeah.
like actually making the other one upgraded, like that would be fine. I feel like
Yeah,
that
I
would give good
guess.
incentive for people to buy a new
I just
Switch.
don't trust Game Freak to do that.
But what I bet what'll end up happening is it'll be released on the Switch, and then they'll do like what they did with Breath of the Wild and port it
Yeah,
to the new console, and it'll be like slightly higher quality, but basically the same.
the exact same game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was, I guess, a different situation because the Switch is roughly the same power as the Wii U. It's like very slightly faster.
Yeah.
So that was probably easier. Whereas now we're going from like basically an Xbox 360 to an Xbox One X in one gen, which is that's a pretty significant upgrade.
I'm just upset like that they make, I don't know, dude. We've talked a lot about like consoles and new consoles coming out, and I've been talking about how I want new consoles to come out, and then I want like game developers to make the games only for the new consoles, but the Switch is the only one I'm reluctant for them to do that, because I don't want to have to get rid of my Switch to get this
Oh,
Switch,
like you want to be able to keep your Switch?
because I won't be able, yeah, like I want to be able to play the games that come out on this, but I don't think I'm going to be able to, because I think they're going to make them for the Switch 2 only.
But I want them to do that.
No, they should do that, because then the games
Yeah.
will be really good. But then I'll have to spend $400.
The thing is, I'm gonna do
Zero.
that either way.
I think I'm going to as well, but I just don't.
No, I
want
mean,
to.
who wants to spend $400? But I will, and I will happily, and I'll be so excited about it.
Bro, I feel
Then I'm gonna scramble to sell my Switch to get the special
Yeah,
edition one that comes
yeah.
out. That's really cool, like I did with the fucking Scarlet and Violet
That thing
Switch.
is sick, even though the game is mid. I mean, I have an OLED, and I've seen like the Scarlet and Violet one go on sale a couple times, and I've been like, yeah, I could sell my OLED and get that, but I have absolutely no reason to.
Nintendo, why are you a company like this and make games like this?
I think they're the only company that people like will collect the special edition consoles for. Like,
Yeah, for sure. Except for like the really like the original
oh, if you collect
Xbox,
old consoles,
like the
that's
clear
that's cool, I
ones.
think. But like people who buy every Switch,
Well,
there are people that do
yeah.
that.
I think well, I like I said, I think this, or I agree with you. The Switch is the only one because I don't think there's any Xbox or PlayStation consoles people aren't collecting like the Uncharted 4, PlayStation 4.
Yeah, the Star
and-
Wars
yeah,
Battlefront 2 PS4 Pro. Nobody's buying that.
yeah. People aren't collecting that, but people are 100% getting like the
Yeah.
Animal
yeah.
Crossing Switch
Absolutely.
and the Scarlet
Yeah.
Violet Switch.
It's just funny. So like you're right, they probably will launch the regular one and then a special edition one like 2 months later, and a bunch of people will just buy that also. So, I don't know.
They could probably make this console any price and people would buy it. I bet you they would make more money if they made it $300 and made it as strong as possible.
Wait, what do you mean?
Especially, well, like the Switch, the first gen Switch was $400.
It was only $300.
Strong. They could.
It's
It was only 300.
It launched at 300 and it's still 300.
Oh,
which is insane,
Yeah,
by
that's
the way,
pretty
that
sick.
it's
7
still
years,
300.
it's still 300. Well, that's the weird thing is like consoles used to get cheaper over their life, and like now they're literally getting more expensive over their
Yeah.
life,
yeah.
which is so fucking weird.
That's so crazy.
Like the Xbox 360 at the end, you could get one for like $99,
Oh, dude, I know. Yeah, that's
like
absurd.
brand new. I don't know. I mean, I remember Xbox One S's for like $149 on Black Friday, which even that was fucking insane. But
Yeah, I mean, hopefully they. I feel like Nintendo just loves to do like their Nintendo Directs just randomly And
Oh yeah, they'll announce.
They'll probably just do it.
I was literally just to ask if there's
I
one
feel like
coming up.
they
but
do
I'm sure
random
there's
streams
not.
of them sometimes, and they'll probably just do one out of nowhere and just
They
announce
could,
the Switch
yeah,
2.
they could literally announce tomorrow there's a direct on the 27th or whatever the fuck.
Yeah. Oh man, I don't know if you guys saw like, I know that you saw Nintendo is suing Pal World now.
Yeah.
Pretty quick thing to touch on, but
Yeah.
Nintendo and Pokemon Company are suing them. People were assuming for copyright infringement, but it's actually a patent infringement. Did you guys see this?
I did not know that it was
Yeah.
for a patent infringement.
Yeah,
A
so like
patent
people
infringement?
initially were like, it's got to be the designs because the designs are so similar, and they're not suing
Yeah.
for that, which is crazy because literally some of the stuff is like borderline identical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's for patent infringement, and like,
Oh, is it
Basic-
because of the Pokeball?
yeah, so
I did see that.
they didn't say exactly which patents, and also Pal World posted and said they don't even know what they infringed on because Nintendo didn't tell them what they infringed on. But people were assuming it's like, because
How can you not tell them?
I don't know. I don't
How
know.
can you just sue somebody and be like, I'm not telling you what it's for?
What right does Nintendo have to patent things inside of the Pokemon universe?
People
Like, you
found
can't patent a
patents
Pokeball.
filed in Japan for basically like catching things in a ball shape and like being able to throw them out of a ball, essentially, like that type of gameplay. Like, and then also there's a patent filed for like catching a Pokemon type or like a monster type creature in a field specifically is a patent.
How can you patent that?
What the fuck?
So
What the fuck? You can't patent an action. Like, I'm gonna go patent driving a car and then sue every single person in the United States
How can
for patent infringement. You can't
Like,
patent
why
an
wouldn't the
action.
first developer to ever make shooting a gun in a game patent that?
Dude, it's crazy. I mean, there's a lot of patents in games though.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Okay, so H1Z1 isn't suing DayZ, and like Valve isn't suing Riot Games for Valorant.
Yeah,
like
did Sony sue Call
those
of
are
Duty,
basically
or did
copies
Microsoft
of
sue Call of Duty
games.
when it came out because of Halo? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, no.
I know, it's such a dumb thing.
It doesn't make sense. Why does Nintendo do this?
It's not like
No,
they're not
man.
going to sell Pokemon games because of this.
Yeah, the lawsuit said like damages, which it's
No,
not.
there's not.
Wait, guys, okay. Do you guys want to get sued by Nintendo?
Yeah, I would love to get sued by Nintendo.
Okay, I just thought of this game.
Let's hear it.
And the main character, he's a short guy, wears a red hat, overalls, and a red shirt. And his name's Marty the Plumber.
And he goes by Martio.
And you guys are... Yeah, Martio. And you guys are helping me make this game, so we're all roped into it together.
We're going to help you make this game.
So hopefully when the...
What do you do in the game?
Yeah, hopefully when the, one of... Well, there's like a bunch of different animals and vegetables that walk around.
Oh.
And plants that are out there, and you have to, like, the only way to kill them is by
And is the
squishing
kingdom
them.
named after, like, a food?
Yeah, it is named after a food, and there's a big angry turtle that you run.
Which
What food
run
is
after.
it named after?
Yeah.
He's always stealing a princess.
No, it's a
Of
prince.
some sorts. A prince. No, this is a
okay.
princess.
Which
still.
food specifically is it named
Sorry.
after?
It's named after a mushroom.
That's...
Oh. I might not know actually what it's named after.
Yeah,
Sounds
you
like a
are the
great
king
game,
of saying something and then changing it if we realize...
I don't know what it is, but I would. What I think it
You
is
think
a
it
mushroom.
is?
This is a
Okay.
top tier game
Yeah.
idea. Let's send it to IGN, get a 10 out of 10.
Well, we have to do it all before we get sued by
A 10
Nintendo.
out of 10 for the idea or for the game?
Yeah.
Got it.
Got it. No, man, that's interesting
I don't
though. Like
I
patent
don't think they
infringement
stand a chance
lawsuits
on
in
that.
games is crazy.
Yeah,
Like
that's
just as a concept.
that's such a dangerous precedent to set
Yeah.
for like advancement of video games.
The only game company that would do that is
Absolutely.
Nintendo.
Well, you know what's like really annoying too? Did you guys ever play the Shadow of Mordor games?
For like a second, yeah.
No.
Warner Bros has a patent for a system in that game, the like Nemesis system. So like there's like the orc captains, when you kill one, they have like somebody that's like connected to them, and that person like now has like a bloodlust for you essentially. So
Okay.
there's like it like builds Nemesis out, and that system has a patent on it also. So no other game of any kind, unless it's made by Warner Bros, can use a system similar to that.
Well,
So
that's
it's
a
like,
very specific
That's
mechanic.
So crazy.
yeah, well, so is fucking catching things in a ball.
Yeah, it
I
is.
guess
But
I don't
like,
see
I
it
don't
that
know.
way. I don't know.
The thing is that Pal World is not a Pokemon game. Simply the only mechanic within Pal World that is like Pokemon is throwing a ball
Yeah.
at something and catching it. Otherwise, the rest of the game is like playing
Yeah,
Ark.
it's completely
You're
different.
exactly right. But
Which is all the more reason
So
that I think this is a stupid lawsuit.
yeah,
I agree. And the reason why Nintendo is not directly suing them because of like they are basically Pokemon that you're
Yeah.
catching with Pokeballs is because they're trying to do it like under the radar,
Yeah,
like without directly going
that's
for the
different.
jugular. Like they're trying to get their bag without
I saw
making
people
it
saying
count.
they waited specifically until the game died to file this lawsuit because they probably had this a year and a half ago or whenever the game came out, but they didn't want to do it at the height of the game's popularity because they were afraid of backlash, which makes sense.
they would have gotten a fuck ton of
Oh,
backlash.
100%. And they would have gotten a ton of backlash because game companies
Yeah.
do this all the time. This is how
But now the
games
game is like
work.
dead, so nobody really cares.
You
They're
would-
just like, oh, funny lawsuit, haha.
I think that game is still pretty highly played on Steam, but it's definitely
Let's
not
see.
2 million simultaneous players popular anymore. That shit was insane.
Where does it even tell you
Chris-
the players?
You can look up Steam charts. Well, it's probably up right now. 25,000.
That's not bad.
That's not bad
No,
at all.
actually, it is down even with that announcement because last month it was at 51,000. This month,
That's a
highest peak
pretty
is
significant
35.
drop off.
35,000 is the highest this last 30 days.
That's weird.
But that's still a lot of players.
It is, yeah.
Genuinely. That's crazy, and that's just Steam. That's not like Xbox and PlayStation,
Yeah.
which I'm guessing is huge for that type of game too.
Wait, is it on PlayStation? No?
Yeah, wasn't it?
Is it?
Was
I don't know.
It was definitely on Xbox.
I know. No, it is not. It's not on PS5.
Oh, okay. I just looked it up. It was set to release on PlayStation, but because of this lawsuit, it is not going to be. They removed it from the list of games coming out,
Oh, okay.
which is interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting. Well, I guess we could talk about this image.
What image?
The image here. I'll
No, don't show the
show
image. From hence here
Don't
forth,
show
we
the
just
image?
refer to it as the image.
The image. Okay. Well, I think that Chris should edit in a picture of the image, and then like 10 seconds of quiet so our listeners can ponder
You gotta
about it
describe it
themselves.
for the audio listeners. Man.
Just oh yeah, true.
Okay, so I'll describe it. It is a borzoi. It is a dog.
Did you say Borzoid?
And the borzoi.
Is that the
Yeah,
breed?
it's a borzoi. Borzoi. Yeah, it's the breed. It's a borzoi, and he or she is laying in the tub. He or she's head is up against the edge of the tub, kind of dozing off, and there's a clip-arted picture inserted in
Of
there.
a thought bubble.
And then a thought bubble, yes, and a Photoshop of a borzoi's face silhouette photoshopped onto a fish.
And he or she is really pondering that.
Yeah, they're really thinking about it. And I am also thinking about
It really makes you think, you know.
I think about it often.
You think about it often?
I think about
Yeah,
this
I've thought
picture
about that
often.
picture more in the last 2 minutes than I've ever thought about it in my entire life. Chris, edit that up.
Don't keep it in. He just said he was keeping everything in, including when we were all leaving our cameras.
Oh. Continue on with some more gaming stuff then, since that's all. We're here at Game Central Station.
We're here.
Activision had some more drama.
Surprise.
They just laid off 650 more people.
Oh wait, was this the Blizzard layoffs?
Which
Wasn't
okay.
I thought that was
Yep.
like Xbox
It's
as a
part of
whole.
it.
Was it just Activision?
Well, Xbox had layoffs too, but this is like directly because of the acquisition.
Which also,
Awesome.
I saw people saying they were not going to lay people off as part of the acquisition deal.
Yes.
And then now that
That
it's
is
done, they laid
100%
people off.
true.
And I'm sure they made up a different reason.
So a union was formed to represent the developers of the World of Warcraft.
Okay. Yeah.
Which is really cool. And they said it's the first wall-to-wall union like in the gaming industry, like to encompass the whole
like the entire okay.
So it seems like I guess there are some positive things that are coming out of it, and that's more or less like on like the protection side, not even like with the gaming industry. Like if you talk about the game industry, that shit sucks
bad.
It's the worst spot it's ever been, man.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
I can't, dude. There's been so many fucking Annapurna just closed. I don't know if you guys saw that or if you know what that dev is,
I don't know what that is.
What is that?
They make, it's kind of hard to explain the like style of game they make. It's like those sort of storybook style games, if you know what I mean by that.
It's not the
What's the game they made?
Like Dead by Daylight.
Kentucky Route Zero, Outer Wilds.
Oh, Outer Wilds. That game is huge right now. Are you serious?
Outer Wilds is huge right now?
Isn't it?
Are you confusing that with the Outer Worlds?
You're right.
It's such a similar name. Also, they made Stray, which is pretty sick. I didn't know.
Oh, Stray did really well, didn't it?
Oh, that's the
but it's
game.
not. So there's like different. It's part of Annapurna closed, yeah. But there's like entire studios going down right now.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. It's like it's so bad to the point where even if a game is successful, that they're still closing the studios because the game wasn't successful enough.
They fucking closed Tango Gameworks because even though Hi-Fi Rush did amazing.
Yeah.
What the fuck? I don't
Ridiculous.
know. Yeah, it's in a rough spot. It's good. I don't know. It's good that there are like unions and stuff coming out of that situation, but definitely not great.
It's just positive for like a whole different sector. Like a whole different premise of like the situation, but you know, there's not like Xbox has a lot of resources. They're like the Disney of the gaming industry
Microsoft,
at this point. But at the same time, you can't just like lay people off for like games like World of Warcraft.
Yeah, that's gonna hurt, I think.
You restarted the whole resurgency with it by doing like World of Warcraft Classic or whatever it's called, and then re-releasing all of the expansions on Classic, and then you lay people off for it.
Yeah, that leaves a bad taste, and I'm sure that leaves a bad taste in people's mouth. I don't know.
Hey, but we got Call of Duty on Game Pass, so
I mean,
it was all worth it.
It's funny because I actually probably would have bought Black Ops 6 just because of zombies looking good.
Would you lay off 650 people or have Call of Duty on Game Pass? You can choose one or the other.
But in this situation, we have both.
No, you can choose.
Then I
either
guess
or.
I would choose
One
to have
happens,
Call
one
of Duty
doesn't.
on Game Pass over laying off 650 people. One is net fine, and the other is obviously bad.
And also, both of them are happening / have happened.
That okay, that did not come out. It sounded better in my head. So
I can't wait to hear what it sounded like in your head.
Chris,
I
edit that
can't.
out.
I'm busy.
Great.
You have to stay.
I'm busy. Sorry, I can't.
Yeah, he has plans that night.
Oh yeah. You're reading Grant Cardone's book on 1,000 Ways to Build Your Business.
Yeah. To make sure that I can be successful while editing this podcast.
Yeah.
You could.
I can talk about Project Haggard, but I don't really care.
If you don't care about it, then we don't need to talk about it because I don't know what it is.
Wait, you didn't see that at all?
It's Halo. It's a Mega Bloks like.
Oh, that's
Halo
what
game
that is.
that
Oh,
was
okay.
canceled.
I know about that.
Yeah, and they just had like a not a release, but like the demo build got released.
Okay.
So you can see the
like
gameplay.
The first
of
couple missions are in the game.
And
basically somebody modded it so that it runs.
How does it look? Does it look cool?
It looks really like it looks.
I think
like
it would have
been a
sold
lot
very, very well. Genuinely.
That's high key unfortunate.
Like,
then
there's some glitchy things in it, but like you've played the Lego games, right? So think more of like an open world third person game instead of like how the Lego games are like have weird like camera angles and stuff that happen. And there's like booster packs, you can hop around. There's assassinations in it. When you kill grunts and enemies like that, they pop in the blocks. Oh,
that's sick. Wow.
There's drivable vehicles and stuff. It's designed just like Halo. There's even like a Halo in the far background.
That would have been so cool.
Dude,
especially with how Halo is missed.
Yeah. It looked like such a fun game. They even have like a building mechanic in it too, so you can like build vehicles out.
Oh,
and
that's
then, like
dope.
build like towers and bridges and stuff too.
Maybe they'll revive that.
No, they
I don't know.
will not. Are you serious? Absolutely not.
Well,
yeah, they will not do that.
I guess I'll just real quick, since we're talking about Halo, the 2-year anniversary. We're 2 years away from the 25th anniversary of Halo and Xbox. Which I think will have a lot of rumors over the next year or so that the next Halo game and the next Xbox gen will launch on the 25th anniversary.
No shot that you get a Halo game done in 2 years.
Well, what have they been working on for
3 years, 2 years?
Yeah.
How long has Infinite
came out in 2021?
2 years?
Oh, almost 3 years, 2.5.
Yeah. It'll be 3 years in a month.
They easily could because they're not going to build it on a new engine.
They are. It's on Unreal.
Build it on the Infinite engine.
Now. Yeah.
It's on Unreal.
They're moving it to Unreal.
So what was this whole Infinite? We built this whole.
Here's a secret about the Halo Infinite engine: is it wasn't new. It was just the old engine.
Yeah.
What? It was the whole slip space engine thing. Was the original Halo engine still?
It was the original engine with some extra code to try to make it more powerful, but then it just messed everything up, and then they had to.
That's
go back
why the netcode of Halo Infinite was so bad.
Why did I not know that?
Dude, well, there was more stuff that came out about.
That's absolutely insane.
Hidden Xperia, if you guys know him.
That's the most Microsoft ass shit.
He posted a video like 2 days ago with more stuff about Halo's development. And why Infinite got like so royally screwed. But
I don't know, 25th anniversary is a good opportunity to like completely like start from scratch. So
I mean, I would love to see a new game because like Infinite had potential to be great. And it was fun for a little bit, but
it's fun for like a few months. But I mean, honestly, I would love to see Halo 3 like totally redone.
I feel like they'll do that. I feel like it's more likely that they do that for the anniversary than release a new
game. Would be awesome. I would fuck with that pretty heavily. Halo 3 is so like it holds up so well. It's just looks pretty rough these days. I don't know, but
They just need to make a storyline that is worth.
I thought the story of Infinite was
like, all the
good.
hype
The
that's
story
around
was
us.
decent, yeah.
It was, but like
It
it's
needed
not-
fucking campaign DLC. It's insane that it never got any.
Yeah, and they easily could have, because they had a full open world setting that they
Yeah.
could have done, like that they could have worked with.
Yeah, not to like get into that too much right now, but there is a lot of rumors that Xbox is releasing a handheld with the next gen. Like not like a cloud play handheld, like a on device handheld, like the ROG Ally and stuff, which would be
would
fucking
be sick.
awesome. Guess we'll see what happens with that.
Can't wait to have to buy a Switch
Yeah,
2 and
I
that,
hope
and
that's
a new
not
new
part of
Xbox.
the, like, actual console. Like, that's just a separate choice that you have, I would hope, and not like
Yeah, it will be. There will be like a fully new gen console, and they actually have gone on record saying it'll be the largest technological leap between generations ever. Which seems hard to do at this point. But then also a handheld at the same time.
4090 in there.
Dude, oh my god, if it was as strong as a 4090 on a console, that would be...
It's as tall as your TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Series X is already huge.
Yeah.
And it's going to get even bigger. I mean, the PS5 is massive.
The PS5 Pro got bigger, dude.
It's ridiculous.
Did it? I didn't even think about the
bro,
size.
it's hilarious.
I was just imagining that it was just the same
I don't know.
thing.
I guess we'll see, but that was just a quick thing. There was an interview about it the other day from a Microsoft person, so they said they have big plans for the 25th anniversary.
I mean, I hope something comes out, but I'm very skeptical.
Halo Infinite 2. It's Infinity again.
Perfect.
Yeah, I know. Chris, you got some hot Concord news for us?
Dude, yeah, talking earlier about devs getting shut down, man.
I've heard one quote about this that was so funny to me.
Which was?
That internally they were looking at Concord as the future of PlayStation.
Dude, yes.
Oh.
Okay, so verbatim, apparently verbatim, it was said Concord is the future of PlayStation. Those exact words.
And the future of Concord is to get shut down after 2 weeks.
11 days. It didn't even make it 2 weeks.
Just immediately get jetted off of like PlayStation.
Dude, this situation,
like
this
erased.
situation is genuinely insane. It's so much worse than what people thought.
Yeah, and it was already so bad.
It was already, yeah. I don't know. Did you guys see like a lot about this or not really?
I didn't see a lot. I saw that
like,
quote,
some
and then I
points
saw
about it,
that the actual total spent on the game was 400 million.
Dude,
yeah, that's
400 million. I know people said 100 to 150, and guess what? Not even close.
It was actually triple that.
Dude, 400 million for a game is insane.
I think that's
so that is the most expensive game that Sony has published. There are games being developed by Sony right now that are going to cost more than that. But as of released games, that's the most expensive game that Sony has published.
Didn't Halo Infinite cost more than that?
I think it was rumored 500 million.
Which is disgusting, by the way.
Yeah.
But 400 million on a game that you shutter after 2 weeks. Sorry, 11 days, my bad.
Dude.
Is
Yeah, I have a lot of notes about this, man, because it is so interesting to me how they have just colossally failed on this project. I don't understand what happened. Like,
okay, I have another PS5 thing, but I want to do your thing real quick, or not real quick.
God.
I want to do your thing first.
Let's see. So, like, so you just said like Concord is the future of PlayStation. They said apparently the upper management like was so ambitious about this that they thought they could build this into like a Star Wars level universe is what they were saying.
What?
They were like, this is
What?
like gonna be PlayStation's like thing. Like,
PlayStation was so head over heels for Concord that thought they could make a universe that can withstand like 3 decades
thought
worth
this
of
was
content.
everything for them. I mean, they were planning cross media projects. Like, there's already a fully developed episode of a TV show based on Concord. That secret
Yeah, I saw that.
levels show that Amazon's doing.
Yeah.
There's a full episode based on
Yeah.
Concord, which was done before the game released. So they like had major plans for this.
Yeah.
The game was set to have like weekly story updates as well, and apparently
Weekly?
weekly, and they had like flushed that out for like a long time because they did backlog
That's actually
some
cool,
Dang.
though.
story. It
like,
is.
that would have actually been sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just colossal
It's-
failure.
They should have they needed to release the show first.
I don't even know if that would have moved the
No,
needle for them, really.
No, but that would have been a lot better because they
Well,
would have
the show's
seen
being done by Amazon.
at
though.
least some sort of metric.
The show's being
Yeah,
done by
but-
Amazon. They haven't even
Yeah.
released like there's like a God of War episode
know.
and like other stuff too that hasn't they haven't
Yeah,
even
isn't there,
started
like,
it yet.
Sonic or something?
Yeah.
They just
But-
can't. They just missed. Huge
I
miss.
really, it's hard for me to wrap my head around why it flopped so bad. Like, because I know it's in a saturated genre, and I know, like, people didn't know the characters, but I feel like most of these, like, new shooter games that have come out lately have at least had, like, a wave of doing well.
It is very surprising to me how poorly it did. Like, it is
Yeah.
a very generic hero shooter. And
But, like, those do well for a week or two, usually.
I know. Well, yeah, I was listening to some videos earlier. I guess there was a closed beta that had like 2,400 people, and you had to pre-order to get the closed beta that like 2,400 people played it. And then there was
Okay.
an open beta that like 1,500 people played after that. But then
Less?
Steam, yeah, so that means like people canceled their pre-orders because the
Yeah.
like actual launch had way less players. So, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy, man, because the game was in development for 8 years. Only 3 or 4 of that was under Sony's assistance. So there was another company that was running it initially.
And
And
Sony was like, this is it.
Sony like came across this and
somebody
was
had
like,
to have done a
there
hell
was
of a
some
pitch.
like intern that was like, boss,
Oh, yeah.
boss, listen to this.
Boss.
I just got this game. They're calling it Concord.
Concord.
Check this out.
And they show him a clip of Overwatch.
Yeah,
Dude.
and he's like, "This is it.
Yeah, that's
Emergency board director
Emergency.
meeting right now." And every unanimous vote, we buy this company.
Well, so they didn't even
immediately,
buy it
and the rights to
immediately.
this
So
game.
the game was in development for 8 years. Sony started assisting on it around 2020 or 2021. So Sony was only part of the development for like 3 or 4 years. And then Sony bought the studio from the other company in early 2023. And also, by the way, that $400 million budget does not account for the acquisition of the studio, and that is not a public number. So I'm sure it's well over 500 million.
That is so
Yeah,
funny. And they closed it.
I
So that would
yeah,
Oh.
dude, it's insane. When Sony bought the studio in early 2023, the alpha of the game had just come out. Like they only just had an alpha version of the game at that point. And by then there had already been $200 million spent on the game for the alpha to come out, and it was so broken that Sony invested another
Holy
$200
shit.
million in a year and a half to try to get this game pushed out.
yeah, I think if it would have launched in like 2022, it would have done better.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, Hero Shooters has been on a decline for a couple years.
Yeah. I mean, Overwatch had to do Overwatch 2 to like continue their player
And
base.
how many are people still playing Overwatch? I don't even know.
It's a huge game.
Yes.
But yeah, I guess the like one of the major problems though was the like game had a toxic positivity work environment. So
Yeah.
essentially, like, studio heads and managers were so overly optimistic about the game being like this next big thing that they were like not allowing devs to like criticize anything at all. They were just like, you have
Oh, that's
like,
a really good way to make a good
yeah,
game.
they were like, designs for characters couldn't be changed, like gameplay aspects, all that. Like if people like said negative things, they risked their jobs apparently. So people were like just settling for
What?
doing stuff that they knew was bad because they would rather keep their job, which is understandable. But
Yeah, that's understandable, but why
Yeah,
would they want
especially-
that culture? Like, that's an easy way to make a dog shit game.
yeah, that's exactly right. Dude, ridiculous. Yeah, so I mean they're probably well in the hole. So the game apparently also only made $1 million total. So on a $400 million budget, and then they refunded all that. So
yeah, so they
lost
actually
it all.
lost $1 million.
So yeah, I'm thinking well over 500 with the studio acquisition, and that does not count for like the marketing that they did. That doesn't count for like the TV show. That doesn't count for
Yeah.
like they made a custom Concord controller for PS5 that they're not selling anymore, and I'm sure they have thousands of those sitting.
What are they gonna do? Crush them?
It's like so they're
Marshalls.
way
Yeah, they're at TJ Maxx.
they're way more deep on money than just the 400 million.
Well, and you have to think also, like, so the game's been in development for 8 years. For, like, say the last 2 years, Sony has basically thought this is
Yeah.
their shit. What else have they made for this game other than
Yeah, controllers in the show.
the TV
Did they have a
show and
year
the
one
game and the
roadmap and stuff
controller?
already? Probably.
Yeah, there was at least 6 months of um like live service content planned
Content.
already,
Yeah.
and like I think developed
And that's like
ready to go.
skins and battle
Yeah.
pass, and there's probably new characters that were coming out and new maps.
Man,
that were
that
all
is
created.
fucking nuts.
Dude, it's so much worse than what people thought. I can't believe they launched that hard. I don't
That
know
actually
what they were
makes
thinking.
me think, though, has Sony, maybe I'm stupid and missing one, but have they ever had like a big multiplayer franchise?
I don't
No.
think so.
Because
that I
all
can
their
think of.
stuff, even back
that
to
I
like
can
the
think of.
PS3, was like Infamous and Killzone and stuff. And now, obviously, the Uncharted and God of War and Last of Us
Yeah.
and Spider-Man, but like all of those are just single player games.
Yeah, well, obviously they thought this was going to
They
be
had
it.
call.
But
They
they
had.
Well, yeah,
Call
but
of
they would
Duty.
never
That was just a
made Call of
contract.
Duty. They just had a contract.
No.
Like, have they ever been a? That's crazy. And the one time they try, they lose $400 million.
Absurd.
Yeah. That's what they get for trying.
Stick to what you're good at, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fucking wild.
And people love their single
I know.
player games.
Like, that's I don't know. I guess that is a testament to like sticking to what you're good at. But the thing I saw was like, so obviously the price came out and they had a ton of blowback, and then a week later they announced the like 30th anniversary edition of the PS5 Pro, which is like themed all entirely around the PS1. So it's like the entire PS1 aesthetic and coloring, and the controller looks like a PS1 controller and all of that shit. Which is like, hey, I know you guys hate the price, but now we're gonna blind you with nostalgia. And now also they're only making 10,000 of them.
What, the PS1 version of it?
Yeah. They're only making 10,000 of them, so they will be scalped to hell. So the regular price of the PS5 at $700 looks like a good deal.
Yeah.
So
What is that one, 700 too?
yeah, it will be, but if there's only 10,000 of them, it'll be
Oh, they're gonna sell it right away. People will sell them for
1,500
at
probably.
least. Yeah.
Can't wait for the sit in line on
Yeah, dude.
Sony's website.
Oh my
on a
god, did
splash
you ever sit in
page.
one of those PS5 lines?
I've sat in like Xbox.
I sat in the
lines
PS5
before.
line on Sony's website when I was trying to flip them in like 2021. I never once got to the front of the line.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
Blame sneakers on that.
I'm sure too, like with the PS5 Pro, I feel like Concord had to have been like a big marketing plan for them with that. Also, that they
Probably.
had to pull all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe they planned
Mhm.
like a special edition Concord console too.
Yeah, I saw somebody saying they thought that was like why because the PS5 Pro like presentation was fairly lackluster, I
Oh
guess,
yeah,
and
it
they
was
were
just
like, I'm
PS4
sure
games.
they had a lot more to show like with Concord, and they couldn't show it, which obviously that's speculation, but I feel like that's entirely possible
I mean,
based
that
on
would
what
make sense.
was being said about the game.
Yeah, I mean that presentation
That
was
would
pretty
make total
short, right?
sense.
The PS5 Pro presentation.
10 minutes long.
It was 10 minutes only. Oh my god.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's from PlayStation's website.
Dude, that's like nothing.
I feel like Microsoft talked about their new fucking Galaxy Series X for 10 minutes, and it's just
Just a
fucking
fucking terabyte hard drive and a design.
It's just a skin.
It's
It's just a
plastic.
new skin.
That's crazy as fuck,
10
man.
minutes for that.
10 minutes to convince you to spend $700.
10 minutes for them to tell you that you have to spend $100 on the stand and the disk drive.
Damn, man.
Hey, this game that we've already released looks amazing on our.
This
new
game that
console,
came out
doesn't
3 years ago, doesn't it look gorgeous now?
Yeah, art game.
Because it looked like shit
it?
before,
On the
right?
console you have to buy next year.
I don't,
Doesn't the PS5
Yeah.
suck? Look how bad the PS5 played this game in 21. Don't you wish in 26 you could play this game in a night like much nicer? Well, sell your PS5 and get the PlayStation
Yeah, that
5
thing
Pro
is
for
dog shit. You shouldn't have bought that.
$700.
You should have waited.
dude, you should have presented this product.
You should have waited 6 years.
You've convinced me.
All
And
right,
you'd
Chris
have-
is gonna sell his
You would
Xbox.
have gotten the console of a lifetime.
I'm gonna sell my Xbox right now. You've fully convinced me to buy a PS5 Pro.
It's the only logical purchase for a gaming console.
Yeah, I think for consoles, it is probably the most logical purchase you can make.
Do you want the Switch 2? No.
Do you want a PS5?
Do you want the Steam
Again?
Deck? No. Look, you can get the Series X, no disc drive. You can get, or the Series S,
Again.
no disc drive. Series X, a disc
Again.
drive.
They're just
Well, with the PS5 Pro, you can choose which one you want. With just a little extra help.
yeah,
for
a little
them.
extra $80.
And then you can run a game under 1080p at 60 frames per second.
Exactly.
$780.
$780 with the
Yeah.
disc drive.
You guys are just Microsoft shills.
And you have to install it.
Yeah, dude, we're getting paid. Microsoft is funneling money directly
Yeah,
into our
getting
bank.
You shills for Microsoft.
Part of my ad package was to get Game Pass Ultimate for free.
I would do that. I don't even care.
I would do that 100%. I already got a Microsoft computer
You
and a
Well, we all
Microsoft
brother.
phone.
you have a Microsoft. You have a Surface phone.
Yeah, I have a Surface
Sick,
phone.
dude.
And I use a Zune to listen
Yeah,
to music.
you're rocking a
and-
Zune.
Yeah. Laptop is a Surface,
Surface
3.
You have like a 7-year-old Surface. That's your laptop.
Yeah.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
Cool.
I have the gray
Oh,
felt
and it's
pad, but it's
disgusting,
nasty
yeah.
looking. It's horrible.
Gross, man.
It's fine. I got the Surface Pen too, so I can.
So that makes up for it. Okay.
Yeah. That's how I'm gonna edit all of us out of this podcast. All of the
With
times
the
we have
Surface
swore.
Pen.
With my Surface. Yeah, with my Surface Pen and my Surface Pro 3. It takes 72
Dude.
hours to render videos.
He leaves it plugged in for 3 days. His electric bill is absurd.
Yeah. It's about 125 degrees constantly.
Shannon goes to close it, and you're like, wait, stop, you're gonna burn yourself.
No, 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 no.
I think that about wraps it up.
I think so. Thanks for joining us today. It took a second.
Thanks for
Yeah.
joining us today. It took a
We got
second.
here.
Yep.
Perfect.
Smooth as always.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Don't forget to check us out on socials at Prampcast. And
Yep.
yeah. That'll
Thank
do
you
it.
for tuning in.
Have a great night.
and
Thanks for tuning
goodbye.
in, brothers.